Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly. Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's a weather alert update from JB Weather.
Hello everyone, I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you right now to give you your 5 a.m. storm update. I'm going to try to do these about every 90 minutes or so. The last one was at 3:30. Now we're here at 5 o'clock to talk about what's going on across the region, and we will get right into it. Let me bring up radar right now. There we go. You can see we have a decent amount of snow beginning to work into our region. We've seen a lot of areas report snow so far this morning. We do have some dry slots with this initial band of snow. That's not that wasn't really I kind of always forecasted there to be dry spots. Let me put it that way. So this was kind of expected. Snow start time between 4 and 7. I think by 7 o'clock we should start to get in on some light to steadier snows. I see lots of reports coming in from you all. We are now seeing snow in Huntingtown. Jill is saying been snowing in Clements for over 2 hours. Dusting here near 231. Karen Hopper. And been snowing in La Plata for over an hour from Julie Davis. So we're going to continue to look at the snow move through the region through the rest of today up until about this mid to late afternoon, but we will see a decent amount of snow today. So if you're looking to get out to go sledding, build a snowman, do a snowball fight, I would recommend doing that really before about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'll show you why. Let me bring you on over here. We're going to get right into Futurecast. Let me get this loaded up as I do. So in the meantime, again, let me know what you're seeing outside your door. That definitely helps me formulate my forecast and make sure I'm giving up-to-date information that is accurate. Again, I'm not here in Southern Maryland right now, so any report I can get, I definitely do appreciate. As this slowly gets its act together, I think we're good now. Let me bring you over here. All right, here's Futurecast. You see the timestamp right up top there. This initial rain it's showing should all be snow. This is simulated for 4 o'clock, so where the actual snow is, that's about where that snow line was at right around 4 o'clock. Pushing this forward, again, by 5 o'clock, we're looking at snow across much of the region, and this continues to show snow across a lot of the area. Again, some dry slots moving in during some of the early morning hours this morning. This is right around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock for you. Continuing to push on forward here, we can see some heavier bands, more moderate bands of snow setting up by 9:30. So right around that time, you're getting brunch. We're looking at some snow moving into the region, maybe some more moderate snows here. Area south, that sleet line is all the way down here in southern Virginia. So initially, this should be all snow across our region there. Southern Maryland is. And as we push this forward here, getting closer towards about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you can see we are now looking at potentially some more moderate or even heavier bands of snow trying to set up on our region. As we see some banding features set up, if this is true, then we could be looking at a decent amount of snow through this as we continue to push this forward towards about noontime today. Look at this. This really tries to paint a decent area of some more moderate snow, those deeper blues through portions here of southern Calvert and St. Mary's County. So that could definitely help to give you that 2 to 4 inch snow forecast, which you can see at the bottom there, going for specific locations. Continuing this on forward through 2 o'clock, this still shows snow. A little bit ago, I had shown an image of Futurecast, a different one of our models that showed the potential for sleet by 2 o'clock. We could see that sleet line move in as quick as 2 or 3 o'clock, but if we remain colder today, then this scenario is definitely plausible. We are still looking at some heavy snow through about 2 and 3 o'clock. That sleet line is to the south. This model continues to give us heavy snow through 2, and then by about 3 to 4, right before 4, you can see that sleet and rain line beginning to punch here in the parts of southern Maryland. Right out ahead of it, though, that's where we're going to get some of the most heavy, or the heaviest snow. So you have to smell the rain to get heavy snow. But this is right around 4 o'clock. As you move over close to 5 o'clock this evening, this shows rain beginning to move into southern parts of St. Mary's County, still looking at snow for much of the region. And then by about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you can see most of us do switch over to rain. This model, how much snow does it put down? That is a good question. Let me get that brought up here. We want to get this all the way out through 7 p.m. I think this actually is underdoing the totals just a little bit. Let me check one thing quick, because I think this other version might be a little better to show you the snow potential today. Let me make sure. So bear with me for just 1 second here. It's no better, really, but the heaviest snows will be where you see those blues setting up. That would be the zone where you could see 3 to 6-ish inches of snow. Elsewhere, probably closer to about 2 to 4. So what am I forecasting? What is coming out of the storm lab right now? When we take a look at these watches and warnings and advisories, we have winter storm warnings up for the entire region from now, so they are currently in effect. This winter storm warning for southern Maryland in effect at 4 o'clock this morning, and this goes through 7 p.m. At that point, we should start to switch over to a little bit of sleet and then some rain, and that does seem pretty likely for much of our region. Moving this forward, though, our slideshow, snow start times. Again, the forecast, this was made yesterday. You can see the updated time there between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. For much of the region, we have seen that verified, so that's great. We're off to a good start. We'll see if the rest of the forecast follows suit, and this will start later the further north and east you head. Continuing on, the final call for this morning's snow. I made this yesterday, and I still think it is holding good for right now. 3 to 6 inches for much of the region. Now, southern Calvert and St. Mary's County heavy in 2 to 4, because you will go over to rain first. But if those heavier bands of snow are able to set up in your area, we're talking south of St. Leonard, south of about Hollywood and Morganza and Loveville, south of those areas, you could see higher totals than 2 to 4. That is 100% possible. You could get in on that 3 to 6 inch range as well. And I would personally like to see that, but I definitely wanted to make a realistic forecast when I drew this up. And I will be 100% transparent with you of what it is I'm seeing and how this forecast looks to be unfolding as we head through the day. We go over to rain and a little bit of sleet and maybe some freezing rain. That ice forecast shows a potential, maybe a glaze of ice for much of the region, but along I-95, probably a little higher in terms of the ice potential there. The final call for phase 2. We are seeing some changes come in with this part of the forecast. I told you all this was a low confidence forecast for phase 2 because we needed to wait and see how that coastal low forms. And with that coastal low, it looks like it could be setting up a little further to the north. What that could do is move all of these snow totals. I have all these colored contours, maybe move them 50 miles to the north and east. If that happens, I think we're still talking about maybe an inch or so Monday evening going to Tuesday. Oh, excuse me. But I think the heavy snows actually might try to set up through parts of, let's say, lower New York, northern New Jersey, parts of eastern Pennsylvania. Storm total, and we can zoom just right here into southern Maryland. This is the map. Again, area south of about 231 from about, actually it's really more just southern Calvert and southern St. Mary's County. Probably about 3 to 5, maybe closer to 2 to 4 down there towards Callaway, Piney Point, Scotland, St. Mary's City. But 4 to 6 or 5 to 7. Really north of there. Totals gradually increase as you head further north and west. And this will be, a lot of what's shown here at least, will be mainly what you see today. I wouldn't bank on seeing too much additional come Monday or Tuesday. If you do that, it would be great. If we see the heavier band setup, we could add another inch or two to these totals. If we see colder temperatures that keep us as snow an extra few hours, we could add an inch or two onto these totals. Here's the storm timeline for you. We're talking about snow impacts, the most likely, again, already starting for much of the region. Phase 1 will really start to get its act together, as I showed you, probably right before the lunch hour, going through the evening. That starts to calm down, though, as we switch over to ice and some rain. A little bit of ice and then some rain for the overnight and morning hours of Monday. And then we could see snow try to pick back up as we head towards Phase 2 tomorrow evening. Winds will be the highest. For Bayside locations today, probably sitting between about 15 to 30 miles an hour in terms of the gusts today. As we head over towards tomorrow evening, though, we could see those gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour. So we could see some scattered power outages. I would not recommend travel, though, for a lot of the region. Take a look to see what your comments are as we're now through the presentation. I see lots of reports of snow snowing in Lesby from April Briggs. Good amount already here in Nandroy. My husband is already out doing the shoveling. That's awesome. Lightly snowing in Hollywood. Light snow in Lexington Park. Nothing yet in Brooms Island. You'll get there too, Michelle. I promise. Snowing in Dunkirk. Just a little snow in Brandywine, Betty. Don't worry. It'll pick up for you as well. Let's see. Leon. Noah has no clue. Again, back to that 36-inch range. And Mitch Northern Calvert throwing darts at a board. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. This is my forecast, though, for Northern Calvert. Probably about 5 to 7 inches or so. I think it's a likely range for you. Caitlin, I knew the storm was going to suck. In what way? If you're a snow lover, the storm does not suck. I promise you. This is more snow than we've seen in 2 years. I know that doesn't say much, but, 3 to 5 inches is not anything to sleep on. But the forecast always show that us going over to sleet and rain. So today will be the highest potential to see snow. One quick look takes us over to our traffic cameras as I get those loaded right now. This is going to be in Lexington Park. This is 235 at 237. Looking at wet roadways, which tells me we are looking at snow already falling down towards Callaway, where we see 5 meet 246. You can see a little bit of snow starting to accumulate there on the sidewalks, and we are seeing some police activity as well, apparently. Over towards Leonardtown, we are seeing snow falling as well. It's quieted down a little bit from what it was showing earlier, again, as a couple of dry spots move into our region, and we will continue to monitor that throughout the day. And Julie is saying already a quarter to a half inch in the play, then we will see those totals increase as well. So stay tuned here to JB Weather. I will continue to keep you updated. We will have updates, Facebook, Twitter, the website throughout the day. If we get any closings or delays, I'll try my best to convey them in a way that makes sense. But I would definitely recommend checking with your school district yourself. Just go on the website, do some Google searching to see what the snow plan would be if there would be a snow day. I don't have the answer for that, and I'm not a school official, so I can't tell you. But stay tuned. I will continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, though, have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.